Sarah, how's it going?
Hi, I'm doing all right, hanging in there.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. I'm Stephanie. I'm with the senior center, and a couple of us, have kind of noticed that you've been withdrawing from, doing the activities that you once did, and we just want to, check in and make sure that, everything's going all right on your behalf.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad.
Mhm.
Lost my husband in the last few months, and it's been pretty difficult.
Yeah, well, I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. And it's hard dealing with a loss like that, and the grieving process is different for everyone, and it's difficult. Have you figured out any ways to help cope with that?
Well, I don't know if I quite call it coping, but I stay in bed a lot. I don't get out of my house. I haven't been here as much, and I guess that's how I'm coping at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Well, just know that we're here for you. Anything that you need. Um, it's difficult when something so recent happened. You know, have you been able to talk to any friends or family? And you know,
I've talked to them, but not really about this.
hmm
I I'm just not really sure what to say or how to express what I'm feeling or any of that stuff. I feel like when we talk, it's just kind of general. Hey, how are you?
hmm
What's new? And I haven't really been able to talk to anybody really about the feelings that I have around him, and I don't know that I'm even ready to talk about it.
hmm Yeah, it can be really difficult, kind of trying to express yourself. There's many different ways to do it, but finding the right one for you can be really hard. Excuse me. Have you experienced any other loss besides your husband? In the past, or
Well, I've lost some close friends and seen them lose their spouses, and my parents passed away a while back, but this isn't really a feeling that I've had before. He was my support system
yep.
when those other people passed away. It was him and I that got through it together, and now who do I get through it with?
So, from what I'm hearing, you and your husband had, a really open relationship. You were able to express your feelings to each other. Would that sound about right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate.
So, maybe obviously not. It's not gonna, replace what your husband, the kind of support system he was, but we have, there's really great programs, bereavement programs, that help people in your situation who've lost a loved one, and can really be just so difficult to deal with that. I can't even imagine how you've been getting along. So, going to these sessions, you can do group sessions and, kind of talk with other people and listen to their stories who've, kind of been through the same thing. And you can also do one-on-one counseling sessions, with someone. When you're ready to open up about, how you're feeling, if that's something you're interested in, then, by all means, let me know. And, I really would be happy to help in any way I can.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I think I definitely need to do something. I'm not really sure exactly what, but I definitely know that I need to do something. I just feel like I can't keep going like this. I'm really sad, and I just don't know what to do. I would certainly be open to suggestions and to advice about how to do it because I'm pretty lost at the moment, and I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's, it's difficult for someone, to be going through something like that, and I completely understand, how, you may be feeling that way because, it's a really, really, really tragic loss. But, you know, we can get you, you know, started talking to someone and, things like that. Now, when, before, all this happened, what kind of activities did you like to do? And did you do activities with your husband?
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff together. We spent some time here. We did a lot of stuff outdoors. We would go on hikes and to the beach and on vacation. And a lot of the fun in that was experiencing it together, and even thinking about doing any of those things just doesn't sound. It doesn't sound like it would be the same as it was, and I just feel like I'm not really sure what to do when I do things that remind me of him. I get sad. When I don't do anything, I get sad. You know, I just don't really know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like you two were really active in the things that you've, done. Now, were you as active before you retired?
Yeah, I was a pediatric nurse for 32 years, and I loved that, and we it was a different kind of active because we had to balance work and our personal fun lives, and it was a little different. But I like to think that we were active and took care of ourselves all along.
Yeah. That sounds amazing, that you were a nurse. It's a really great thing, that you did for the community and pediatrics. It's wonderful that, you work with children, you help them. Have you had any of your own?
I do. My husband and I have three sons. They are grown up and aren't really close by. But I have three sons. I have grandchildren. Um, they're all older and living their own lives. But
And would you say that, you've had a close relationship with your sons, whether they were here or whether, since they've moved?
yeah, I mean, certainly it was different when we all lived here, but I think it's been different even more so since my husband passed away. I'm sure they have their own feelings about the whole situation and their own grief that they're dealing with on top of their jobs and their kids and their extended families, and it just feels like a lot of things have been different, including my relationship with them since he's passed away.
Do you feel that, it, these feelings that you have about your husband since he's been gone, it's something you could talk about with your sons?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think that I could, but I don't want to bring up sad thoughts or sad feelings for them. I want them to be happy, certainly, and I don't want to be a burden on them. They have their own kids and their own lives, and I just don't want to feel like I'm doing anything to get in the way of their lives and kind of give them a chance to grieve on their own too. You know.
So what I'm hearing is, you kind of, want your kid the best for your kids, like any mother would. You want them to live happy lives. Do you feel as though you kind of are outside from the lives that they're living, or do you feel like, you can, see them and you'd be happy to see them?
I mean, I would certainly be happy to see them, but I just feel like things are just very different recently. That my relationship with them has changed, just like my relationship with everybody's changed, and I want it to be the way it was before, but I just don't know what I can do to get back to that place, and I honestly don't know that it's possible, no matter what I do or no matter what anybody does. I just think things are going to be pretty different going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's a change. It's a huge change for someone like you and for your children and even the grandchildren as well. Everyone's lost something, and it can be really difficult to kind of think back to the ways things were, and maybe things won't be able to go back exactly to the way things were, but maybe if you reached out to them and even just spending time with them. I mean, you don't have to bring up the loss and just kind of bring up your feelings right away, but if you're able to go and see them or they come out and see you, maybe just spending time with them or would make you feel, you know, give you kind of some happiness. And it seems like you and your kids had a good relationship, so seeing them could kind of bring back those happy feelings that you're kind of longing for.
Yeah, I would certainly love to do it and love to try to reconnect with them, but I just want to do it in a way that's works for them too. I don't want to feel like they have to they're obligated to come visit me or they're obligated to call me and check in because I just don't want to feel that way. I want them to be able to live their own lives, and I hope that I am included in it and that I can be a part of it. But I mean, they're adults at this point, so they they're gonna deal with things the way that they deal with them, and that's kind of up to their individual families to figure out how they're gonna do that. And I hope that I'm included, but I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe something that we could do if it interests you is we could, whether you want to do it on your own or we can do it together, whichever you prefer. We can reach out to your sons and maybe kind of you know figure out a way where convenient for both you and them, or you can reach each other, whether it's a phone call or whether it's visiting, because I'm sure they would love to come see you and spend time with you. And it doesn't have to be a burden. You don't have to be a burden on them, because you're their mother, and I'm sure that they enjoy spending time with you, and having their kids spend time with their grandmother would be a really good thing for everyone. So if it's something you're interested in, you can always kind of make a schedule up or something like that where it works for both of you, and where you're comfortable enough reaching out to them whenever you think you're ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, I at this point I'm willing to think about anything. I feel like I'm in a pretty difficult spot, and I just can't kind of get out of it on my own. I just feel like the sadness kind of builds on itself, and it's almost crippling. I just don't know what to do to try to fix it. I don't know what steps to take, and I'm certainly open to trying whatever you think might be helpful.
Yeah, of course, we could figure out ways to kind of help you and plan things, so you know that we figure out together, so you're included in it, and that you kind of have that backbone of all the people in the senior center that are willing to help you. You know what I mean? So any plan that we come up with together that you're comfortable with, and we can you know kind of follow up on those things and see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I would certainly try, and I mean I might try it on my own at first and see if I can do it. I feel like I want to be independent, and I value my independence, and I want to maybe see if I could do it on my own at first, and then maybe if that didn't work, or I didn't feel like they were open to it or receptive to it, maybe we could come back to it.
And I do have to say your independence is a really, really, really great quality that you have. I mean, just seeing you in the senior center planning these events, and setting up these activities and the volunteer opportunities you've created for these people, it just shows how independent you really are. And how you've been able, to do all these things and, kind of bring the community together. And it's been truly wonderful having you here and seeing that. So, I really, really do, value that as one of your qualities. And I think it's a wonderful thing to have. And it's, gotten you so far.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I certainly, on the times that I am here, I enjoy being here, and I enjoy being around the other members of the community, the staff, and the other seniors, and I certainly want to be here, and I hope I can be here, but sometimes it's just tough. The feelings telling me to stay in bed are stronger than the feelings telling me to get up and come here.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's understandable. Now, do you feel as though you're happy when you're doing things at the senior center as opposed to when you're alone at home? Do you think that, doing these activities help in any way or being surrounded by people help in any way?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it just helps me keep my mind off of things. I think it's really a distraction and helps me not think about it. And then when I'm at home, that's pretty much all I do is sit there and think about it, and it just kind of builds on itself and just makes it harder and harder to get out of the house. I mean, I've missed appointments and things that I really wish I could have attended here at the senior center.
Yeah, we really want to help you kind of, get back on your feet and, feeling comfortable enough to be able to go out and do those things and, not feel sad enough to, think that sitting inside is, what you have to do. And, obviously it's your way of, grieving. I mean, some people just have a hard time, being able to walk out the door. And, that's completely understandable. Now, do you feel as though it would be helpful to have, some assistance in anything, as in, bringing you to the appointments, whether or not it's errands, whether or not it's cooking and cleaning or anything?
Well, I mean, I would really kind of take whatever help I could get. I feel like, there's definitely something to just getting out of the house, and I feel like even just getting some fresh air is nice, and I just a lot of the time haven't been able to even do that, to even just go in the backyard and get fresh air, but I feel like when I'm here and when I'm around other people that I just feel better. I either I just put the sad things out of my mind, or I just focus on other stuff, or whatever. I feel like there's definitely a big difference when I'm around other people versus when I'm just at home by myself. So, if there was somebody else who maybe could come over to the house, or who I could go out and get a cup of coffee with every now and then, I think it might be helpful.
Yeah, and I'm really, really happy to hear that. There's a difference between, being alone and, being around people. It's good to hear that, that can be kind of a coping method in its own way. Just being surrounded by people, kind of helps lift your spirits a little bit. And, of like I said before, you're an independent woman, and you've been making it on your own, and having someone come to help you doesn't mean you have any less independence. It could just be someone to sit in your backyard with and just talk to, or go, like you said, go out for coffee with, or just someone to kind of keep you company. So you don't feel so alone in the house sometimes.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. There's a lot of stuff that you brought up that sounds like good ideas, and I hope I can give them a try. They're just sometimes that I wake up in the morning and I'm just ready for anything, you know. It's just, I don't know, it's just easier to stay in bed than it is to think about planning that stuff or having somebody come over or making it to a doctor's appointment or any of that. You know, I think
Mhm.
pretty sad.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, that's completely understandable. Have you now, the house that you live in, have you lived in it with your husband?
Yeah, we've lived there forever.
Mm-hmm.
We raised our sons there. We think it's been 52 years that we've been there. So I love that house and I'm just not ready to give it up
Mm-hmm.
just yet.
Yeah,
You know.
and you've been doing, wonderful on your own. I mean, you even just being here, you've showed us how much you could really do, just as, you as a single person. And, I'm, I feel comfortable enough with you living, in that house. I feel as though, you've been getting along and, you're able to be independent there. And, I mean, some people, find it more comfortable to, move to a smaller place or, kind of take that next move, whatever that may be. But, for other people, especially those who, make memories in a house of 52 years, it's, sometimes it's, they want to keep it. And that's, an okay thing to do too. And in your circumstances, you've been doing really well. I think it's just, maybe having company or reaching out to your son so, they can come visit and, you don't feel as alone and, kind of looking towards more of the sad memories in the house, what, that the memories that you once had instead of making new memories, if, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty accurate. I mean, we a lot of stuff happened in that house, and a whole lot of it was really good stuff. So I feel like that's where I want to be, and that's where my memories are. That's where my family
Mhm.
comes from, and I can't bear to think about my grandchildren not seeing that house and spending time there too, and hopefully creating more memories. You
Mhm.
know, if they're able to come visit again and spend some time.
Yeah. Well, like, we discussed earlier, I think definitely kind of reaching out to your kids and, having them come see you and, having your grandkids come, see you would be something that, we can plan together. If that's, if you're comfortable with that and you're on board with that, we can definitely make that happen. It's definitely feasible for that. And I think that, it'll make you feel, better seeing family and just kind of spending time with them, especially when, I mean, you raised your three boys and, that house and with your husband and, kind of losing that part of you. It's, it'd be nice to, kind of bring your three sons over to, kind of lift up your spirits.
It would. It would. I think I would enjoy that, and I think your ideas about trying to reconnect and trying to form those strong bonds like we had before. I think it would make me happy if I could do that again.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, we can definitely do that. And also, the bereavement counseling that we talked about, if you're interested in that, you can try going to a group session, listening to what people have to say. You don't have to, talk right away if you don't want to, or you can do the one-on-one, whichever you're comfortable with, because, it's your feelings and you have a say in whether you don't want to express them now or later. So whichever, you prefer, we can, do that. And we can also, find other activities that you're interested in, you may be interested in, to kind of, you know, because you said, being around people, kind of helps take that pain away. So maybe finding activities, whether it's active activities or, anything that you enjoy doing, we can help you find some of those too and explore the different, opportunities that you could have.
Well, great. Thank you. I appreciate your suggestions, and I think they sound really good, and I think I want to give them a try.
Awesome. Okay. Perfect. So we can plan to meet next week if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I think that would work great.
Okay, awesome. And we can follow up, I will look up the things I do. If you feel comfortable enough reaching out to your sons, by all means, you can do that. If you
Yeah,
want to,
I
yeah,
think I'd like to try that.
yeah, try that. And, if you need absolutely anything, you can always ask me. You can ask any of the staff members of the senior center. We're always here for you with whatever you need, whether, it's help with doing something or whether it's just someone to talk to. You can, feel free to do, whatever you need to do.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I will be here next week.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you, Sarah.
All right, thank you.